Camellia Moonrider breathed her first taste of salt-sweet dawn on 1919, April 1999, in a lilac-painted cabin propped on driftwood stilts above California's Tomales Bay. And from that one lungful, the tide decided she would not fold herself into tidy outlines. Her father, a night shift seabird rescue medic who doodles cloud pelicans on legal pads between calls, leaned so close their freckles mingled, and promised his daughter that peer gossip, hallway side eyes, and clothing rails capping at 14 would always scoop for a woman who fills her own frame with thunder. Curves curled through the Moonrider family tree like warm Japanese curtain wrapping cool Pacific skin. So no one panicked when baby Camellia tore through 2 flannel swaddles before the kettle hissed. Grandma Lenore grabbed sail thread and kite cloth rescued from a county fair, patched every gap, and joked that 3 extra fingers of fabric cost pennies, while asking a child to shrink could bankrupt full galaxies of dawns. Elementary classrooms smelled of cedar, shaving curls, strawberry turnover sneaking from the cafeteria door, and briny fog drifting through warped louvers. Camellia already rose half a head above her table mates, blotting overhead light whenever she mapped gray whale nursery routes on the pull-down atlas. One soggy recess, 2 boys hop-skip ring singing barge boat every time her rubber boots thudded the chalk grid. That night, she roamed the rack line, pocketed soda caps, sand polished to pearl, threaded them on fishing leaders, stitched the jangly chain down her sea green hoodie, and stepped into first bell scattering rainbow freckles across blistered ceiling tiles. A volunteer aide caught 9 shaky seconds on a prepaid flip phone, posted the shimmer to a brand new video nook, and by lunch, 15,000 strangers cheered the girl who spun mockery into lighthouse flair. Camellia wrote one plum ink sentence beside fraction drills: "Clouds crowd only until you flash them bright." Weekends belonged to the oyster pier, where her mother's horn licks meshed with diesel coughs from crab trawlers, skillet sizzles from clam cake stalls, and gulls arguing over bait scraps. Ready-made jeans stalled at her thighs, so Camellia traded tip jar quarters for sun-bleached gill net, unraveled it into rope, crocheted a high-waist skirt, airbrushed otter silhouettes in squid ink, then posed in mango sunset against rust-striped silhouettes while her cousin snapped grainy frames. Each photo drifted into a diary she named Lantern Wade. The week, a new image app fluttered across patchy coastal towers. Captions skipped between dock slang and truths like curves anchor gusts steadier than seawalls. 2 months shy of 16 candles, she had 53,000 unseen hearts tapping little hearts under each coral post. Proof, glowing rectangles hush cafeteria razors faster than any assistant coach whistle. A seagrass research scholarship ferried her north to Oregon State's Waveflume Labs. Daylight vanished in turbine basins. Nights belonged to a 24-hour pupusa wagon, glowing neon dragonfruit beneath wind-burnt cypress. The heat lamp doubled as ring light. Between Curtido orders, she filmed 90-second clips, folding parchment into beach rose barrettes while decoding dart rotation and half-lecture zip, half-show line, hush, an upload layer seal pup chirped on lo-fi shuffle while she chain-stitched reflective anchor cord into thrift denim. 47 hours later, the counter punched past 1.3 million. West Coast style pages christened her the Pupusa Couturier, though every sponsor deck still froze at size 16. She filed each pitch in a folder, tagged shrinking nets, wiped queso flame from her cuff, and flipped the next order. Storm Safety Week delivered an email wearing a Columbia sportswear crest, inviting her to co-design a spray shawl capsule called Tie Fire Pulse. Camellia replied with 3 peer-strong terms: patterns up to 60-inch hips, half the crew hired from community college sewing cohorts, 10% of net profit planted into eelgrass nurseries from Mendocino to Monterey. Columbia signed before dawn, pink, lab beakers, coral. The shoot unfurled on a tide-stripped sandbar where sandaling chicks wrote commas toward glass water. She guided paddleboarders of every outline across ripple-free swell while a drone traced lazy infinity ribbons overhead. When the lookbook went live, every extended-size jacket vanished in 41 hours across 33 nations, and Lantern Wade vaulted beyond 700,000 lantern icons. This rising tide already? Lift your chest, smash that subscribe button right now, lock your row seat, and guarantee next week's voyage drifts into your notifications before algorithm wines can change the chart. Spotlight shimmer hauled rumor galls. A clickbait vlog, Soar Camellia clamped steel plates round her waist beneath Tide Fire shells. Dawn found her paddling a cedar board past eelgrass braids. Feet bare, linen shorts, sports bra, tracing every silver stretch line with crushed bougainvillea dust while riffing a horn run so raw pelicans halted mid-glide. 10 million viewers reposted the proof, brushing fuchsia pollen across their own curves until gossip slid under slack tide. Oompa chart wages braiding with capsule royalties became Moonrider cream, a feather-light butter swirled from spruce tip custard, key lime oil, and mica sparks that glow shell white under any flash. 19,000 tins cooled on her father's chart bench, lids knotted with crab trap rope, each tag stamped "Moisturize your horizon." Inventory drained in 82 minutes, raising $198,000. 20% seeded Beacon grants, delivering industrial surgers and hydrophones to plus-size teens in shoreline schools from Crescent City to Cambria. 8 months later, 38 Beacon crews live-streamed a floating fashion and Wellsong gala aboard a retro purse seiner glowing with solar lanterns. Sunrise color splashing into classrooms from Kingston to San Francisco wore Fashion Night itched new jetty legend when a backstage blower ripped her sapphire mesh gown hip to knee, 80 heartbeats before runway. Camellia tore neon dock rope from a rig brace, laced the gap like hiking hooks, and strode as though the splice lived in every sketch. Camera shutters cracked like kettle corn. Vogue Pacific crowned the fixed rope cadence rescue, and Lantern Wade greeted another million lantern sparks before brass horns hit their first chord. A spurned aide leaked cropped mails hinting she demanded abalone slather towers and chauffeur skiffs for her rescue loon, Marimba. She posted the chain entire, refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption screens for death stylists, then poured that month's affiliate swell, $136,000, into biodegradable crab trap pilots off Point Reyes. Fans echoed her breakwater creed, receipts shine brighter than rumor grit, until whispers flattened like tide pool foam. Time for call to action number 2. Double check that you hit subscribe, because these receipts, these sunsets, these tide-proof truths keep rolling, and you will not want to miss the next bright wave arriving here. Family sets her compass. Twice each month, she streams Porchline Groove. Mom folds soulful chords beside a propane griddle. Dad reads cloud haiku. Camellia flips thrift denim while Marimba waddles sugar loops. One episode soared to 9 million views when the loons sneeze glitter onto the lens. A seabird refuge now sponsors every stream. Stream revenue blew past 12 million before Solstice 2. She leased a silent oyster shed, carved skylights through corrugated tin, hired furloughed deckhands plus design grads to whip custard and knot lids during midday funk sets. Efficiency auditors begged for shrink bands. She quoted Granny Lenore, "Fingers keep legend longer than plastic clamps," and rope ties stayed human. Her feed shows real sky, basalt cliff portraits perched beside papusa cart selfies captioned, "Same sky, different tide." She releases breath loops recorded in tide caves, printable resilience pages in English and Pomo. Discount codes for sliding scale therapy tucked 3 swipes deep. 142,000 readers call her shoreline candor their first calm harbor. Community glow rides shimmer under crushed shell dust. Hundreds coast sunset causeways wearing Moonrider cream on clavicles, LD kelp tassels spinning from spokes. Ticket money fattens beacon grants and lifts wheelchair snorkel rigs over Crystal Springs. Chowder shacks bubble late, clam bowls jump 15% on ride nights. Camellia pedals lead on a vintage cruiser with Marimba plush strapped 4, stopping to lace any rider's drifting sneaker. She is finishing Currents Keep Names, due in 11 languages next spring, while a film crew shadows her plan to weld retired boy chains into floating maker studios for headland schools. Puma's Y2 Wave Lantern sneaker lands next quarter, threaded with reflective rope, cushioned by algae foam, steering 10% of revenue into Beacon nurseries hugging the Pacific Rim. We are cresting the final breaker, so here is call to action 3 and the sweetest reminder of all. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, then sail down to the description, tap the magic link, and uncover the best way to find love and the most infallible way to get every woman to fall in love. a proven route many have used to chart their own bright tide of romance. Playback ease it towards Slackwater, fresh Moonrider tins, beacon portals, tonight's porch line playlist, and that love compass are waiting just below, free and one click away. If the Soda Cap Spine Shimmer, Rope Fix Gown Rescue, or Marimba Glitter Sneeze coax a smile tap like, ripple your brightest thought in the comments and share this voyage with a friend whose sails hang slack. Every curve turns currents, every scar refracts lighthouse beams, and the coast bows to anyone bold enough to plant steady boots on the pier and greet tomorrow eyes bright.